Hey, everybody, and welcome to Let the Play Develop, the podcast where all of our teams are still in the college baseball playoffs. On today's episode, we'll be playing a new game called Stat Padding. It was in my notes.
Interesting.
He has to read it. It's in the notes.
We'll be playing a new game called Stat Padding, and then we'll get into drafting the greatest sports moments of all time. So follow us on all of our social medias, links in the description below, and let's get started.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. So,
You're welcome.
welcome to Stat Padding. I have a couple either historic or just kind of wacky NBA stat lines. It's multiple choice, and you guys are basically competing to see who can get the most correct.
Steven Stats.
Like I said,
Steven Stats.
Steven Stats. Steven Stats.
I do have to say I do love me some stats. So
If you just clicked off the video, please wait.
Time out. I do have to say we are not officially sponsored by Gatorade. You can go on.
I put this on the floor for a reason.
Okay.
Okay.
That's-
Steven
that's the
Stats.
floor?
Steven Stats.
all right.
Okay.
So our first stat line again. All of these are for the NBA. Maybe if you like it, we'll go to the NFL because Chris is ready to dominate in that genre.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
first we have a historic game. Okay.
Personally, I wouldn't take that amount of disrespect.
Well, how is that towards Nate?
I'm a big NFL guy. I don't feel like that's
I also said
disrespectful to anybody.
Steven Stats.
What is happening? Anyway, we're gonna go ahead with our first. This one's a historic stat line. Okay.
Okay.
So this player scored 22 points and had 30 assists.
This is John Stockton.
Would you like to hear the names?
Wait,
No, this is John
I got it.
Stockton.
I
Give
think
me
I
the
know it.
stat one more time.
You know what? We'll do an
I think
initial.
I know it.
Hold up. We'll do an initial guess, and then I'll give you multiple choice if you get it wrong. That's how we're gonna just all of a sudden do this now. So the stat is
I ruined
22
the game.
points, 30 assists.
So that's
So
one game.
you have a guess, and then I'm gonna give you multiple choice.
It's in
I mean,
one
that
game.
has to be
John Stockton.
John.
Yes, all of this
One
was
game.
in one game.
Okay.
So two John Stockton guesses.
Scott Skiles.
It is indeed Scott Skiles.
Let's go,
Dang.
baby.
The man who averaged 6 assists for his career had 30
That's
in one
crazy.
game.
He is the leader. Is that the most
Bro,
all
it's
time?
wild.
That is the most all time. Yeah. So
He got replaced by Penny Hardaway.
I don't know, ball.
I agreed with Chris, but I had a feeling there was someone that was just snuck in
so
there.
now my feelings are hurt because I had a multiple choice of Rajon Rondo, Russell Westbrook, John Stockton, and Scott Skiles.
I still would have said John Stockton.
Yeah, I tried to throw
I would have
some
said
similar-
Scott Skiles just because that name should not be in that list.
To be fair, Rondo probably shouldn't either. Like, he was a great
I think I had
distributor.
some 20 assist games.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's my favorite
Yeah.
point guard and maybe my favorite player of all time. But I wouldn't expect him to have if he had a 30 assist game, I would know about it.
Hey,
I would be more surprised about
76ers
the
fan.
20-point game. No, I'm saying.
Rajon Rondo is your favorite player of all time?
Yes, he is.
They weren't really rivals
Interesting.
back then. I mean, yeah, they were, but like, you know.
I was also 9, so
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, so we'll move on to our next one. We have the only player to have 60-plus points with 0 assists. So 62 points. He went 23 from 35 from the field, 0 assists. Who is this player? Since y'all didn't want multiple choice.
I can't have multiple.
we'll
you
do
like-
multiple
Okay, so
choice.
just for
I
the
got,
assist.
We can elect for multiple.
I got cocky with John Stockton.
Okay, we will go with, so this is your multiple choices.
I need to humble myself.
Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Michael Jordan, or Brandon Roy.
I was gonna say Carmelo before you gave them multiple choice. I'm definitely going with Carmelo.
This is a mellow stat line.
I just don't feel. I feel like Brandon Roy is the name
I
odd
don't
man
think
out
he
there.
ever dropped 62, did he?
I'm gonna go
I have
Brandon
no-
Roy, even though I feel like his most points scored is 40 something.
All right, so I cannot vouch how much his most points scored is, but it is Carmelo Anthony.
It's definitely mellow.
Before you even said I said Carmelo. Like,
I remember this game now that we like have brought some clarity and mellow into the
The 0
conversation.
assists.
there were memes.
Yeah,
about
0
it, right?
assists. Yeah, and his teammates loved him, so you love to see that because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure many superstars that have 0 assists and 62 points may
To
not
be
be celebrated
fair-
that much.
To be fair, it's like he could have passed the ball to someone else and they passed it and they got the assist.
Yeah.
You know? We
Yeah.
didn't count like hockey assists.
Yeah, true that. All right, so we're moving on to our third stat line. I guess I will go ahead and give you the multiple choice after I give you the stats. We'll just start doing that now. So we have the 20 points, 20 rebounds, 21 assists. Your choices are Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, and LeBron James.
Can you repeat the stat line?
20 and
points,
21.
20 rebounds, 21 assists.
See, thinking offhand, I would have said Dwight Howard. I know that probably doesn't make sense.
No,
but
it does.
I would have said Harden offhand, maybe.
20 rebounds?
He wasn't a great rebounder. I think he did.
He had a lot of triple doubles. I don't know if he ever. I mean, I don't know.
Really,
I'm going to go with Russ.
I was gonna go Russ too.
Stop taking my pick, Nate.
Oscar was a close second.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you noticed this,
I
Chris,
just
but
don't know if Russell has had a 20-something rebound game.
Oh, he's had plenty of.
Yeah,
20 rebounds?
he rebounds like that.
He's a rebounding guard. He's probably
If anything, I don't know if he's had that many assists in a game.
I want to say Oscar Robinson, but I'll go Russell Westbrook.
all right. So I do want to just say that Chris is going first on all these, and then Nate has immediately copied his answer every time. This is the first time Seth went with Chris,
I
but
just
yes,
didn't want to be the first person to answer.
Yeah.
all three of you are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook.
What was that, like 20? It was the year he averaged a triple-double, right?
He did it in honor of Nipsey.
Okay.
Oh,
He wanted that. He
I
did-
remember that.
So moving on to our fourth out of 7, we have. There's a lot of stats here, so just be patient with me. 4 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals, 5 blocks. Your options are
I know who this is.
Dennis Rodman,
I think I know who this
Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and Scotty Barnes.
Can you say the stat line one more time?
4 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals, 5 blocks.
I was thinking it was T.J. McConnell when he got a triple-double on the Pacers
Can I have the
without
multiple
points.
choice players one more time?
Dennis Rodman, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and Scotty Barnes.
I'm going to go with Draymond.
I think it's Draymond.
I'm gonna go off the wall here and say Andre Iguodala.
It is indeed Draymond Green.
Yeah.
I didn't want to skill with the crowd. I couldn't say Draymond after he said Draymond.
such a Draymond stat line.
I did just call you out for a copy of Chris' answer, so he had to go.
It did sound just like a Draymond stat line.
Yeah. I remember T.J. McConnell had a triple-double with steals, blocks, and assists.
Yeah,
He
so
did it without points.
that's
That's what I was thinking.
No, that's valid. I was gonna say,
Andre Iguodala's ever got 10 blocks in his career.
well, he didn't have to. It was 5 blocks, 10 steals,
Oh,
so it made
I don't
sense.
think he's ever got 10 steals in his
I
career.
don't know. I don't know how many people have, but it's just wild that he was 1 point away from a 5x5. Like,
Yeah,
who
that's
gets
crazy.
the 10
Yeah.
steals and 5 blocks, but
If
only
it
4
was
points?
a 5x5 and you had said Andre Kirilenko, I was pressing.
Oh, I should have put him up there. That would have been a good option. Anyway, moving on to our although I feel like AK-47's dropping more than 4 points.
Yeah, that's a beast.
Moving on to our next one, we have this player had 27 points on only 2 made shots. He was 2 of 9 from the field.
This is James Harden.
22 of 25 from the free throw line. So your options are Manu Ginobili, James Harden,
This is
Trey
James Harden.
Young, or Zach LaVine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going James Harden. I was going to say DeMar DeRozan because I think he had a big free throw game, but it might be
Absolutely.
This has to be.
This is Rockets
Harden.
James Harden.
So believe it or not,
It's
it is
Ginobili.
James Harden.
Yeah.
I thought he was about to say Ginobili just randomly.
I did too, bro.
All right, so moving on to our next stat line, we have a player who had 0 points and 28 rebounds. Your options are Dennis Rodman, Bill Russell, Kevon Looney, and Dwight Howard.
This is
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Can you say it one more time? It's that line.
No.
0 points,
0
28
points, 28
rebounds.
rebounds.
Oh, Dennis Rodman.
It is indeed Dennis Rodman.
We've seen the picture.
See,
Yeah.
honestly, I was trying to. I figured that would be so obvious that maybe you kind of overthink it, but no.
Here at Let the Play Develop, we don't think, let alone overthink.
we
valid.
underthink.
What is thinking?
All right, moving on to our 7th and final stat line. We have, and this one's a guard. I wanted to focus on it's a guard, which granted all your options are also guards, so it won't help you at all. But this player had 5 points, 18 rebounds, and 5 assists. Your options are Jason Kidd, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, and Ben Simmons.
Repeat this test one more
It's
time.
5 points,
It's Ben Simmons.
18 rebounds, 5 assists. And so, just to clarify, Nate, you were 1 point down. Chris and Seth, you are even on points.
Ben Simmons.
Okay. And
Your options are Jason
Got it.
Kidd, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons.
I'll make this interesting. I think it's Ben Simmons, but I'll say Jason Kidd.
I almost said Jason Kidd, but I'm gonna stick with Ben Simmons.
I'm going to go Ben Simmons.
The correct answer is Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Wait,
I figured it'd be something off the wall like that.
he had 5 points and 18 rebounds.
Ben Simmons was a good red herring to put in that one, but
That
he
was
does
a
not
smart-
rebound.
See, also, Jason Kidd is, believe it or not, I think he had 20 rebounds one game or
Yeah.
19 or something like that. So he's a good rebounding guard. I try to throw him in there too to throw you off.
Yeah.
But yeah, Damian Lillard grabbed 18 boards. Could not make a shot that game, but he could rebound.
Those were really good options. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Steve.
Steven Stats. Steven Stats.
So that's what it's called now.
This has been Stat Padding.
Okay.
All right, welcome to the all-time best sports moments draft.
Yes, sir.
We will be going in a snake draft order, meaning Nate will have the first pick, I'll have the second, Seth will have the third, and then Steven will have the fourth and fifth, and we'll wrap back around to Seth and do that in a loop, banana style.
I will say, I
Bananas.
promise I'm not paying off for these first picks. It just happens.
It's just where you sit.
Yeah, it's where I sit.
No, really, it is.
It's
So
the left to right.
I'm just
Yeah.
looking forward to winning another draft. So
No, I am winning this one because I'm so
Nah, bro.
peeved at last
Bro.
week.
I'm not winning. Seth is. I'm just gonna be honest. Seth's
Okay.
got that. He's got that. Look at his eyes and tell me Seth doesn't look like he's ready to just honestly elbow us in the face to get his players. So
I'm interested.
Strong number 2.
I have 19 picks, so I'm ready to go.
I'm expecting fourth,
I have 14.
hoping for third.
All right, Nate, you want to hit us with your number one?
Number 1, I am going with the Michael Jordan 1996 Finals, hitting
Okay.
the last shot he ever took in a Bulls jersey, really where he should have ended his career to
Ooh,
win
true.
the game and get number 6 on the championship list.
Wait.
Iconic.
1996? Didn't he play till 1990?
Yeah.
Slow.
96 was his last
Which
year
is
as a
last
Bull.
year as a Bull. You're not wrong. I almost said 1998 for some reason.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great moment. Good choice. Good selection.
Solid choice.
1-1.
Are you keeping
Okay.
track of
I don't think you
I'm
go
keeping
wrong.
track of your list.
I'm keeping track of my own list.
Yeah,
I
I'll
expect
do
you to
that.
keep track of your own. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Couldn't be bothered. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Chris?
I mean, we don't want to talk more about the 1996
I think-
NBA Finals with John Stockton and the man who shall not be named.
I love John Stockton.
Thank you for not mentioning him.
I just genuinely love
Here,
John
let the play
Stockton.
develop. We don't mention Karl Malone's name.
Oh,
You
well,
literally. All right. I quit.
Thank good. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Karl Malone is the most deserving player of an NBA championship if he hadn't ruined it by his social life.
That's an interesting
what about Charles
conversation.
Barkley?
John Moran.
Barkley's close second, Iverson's a close third.
Oh,
The most deserving champion that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
What?
Carmelo Anthony. Are we serious right
yeah,
now?
I'm gonna pass on that.
What?
I like Karl Malone. Well, I don't like Karl
Melo
Malone. I'm saying
needs
he
a
deserves
ring.
it better.
Chris Paul.
I still think AI is a
He's had AI is a great answer.
Yeah.
Chris Paul. All right, here's a segment
Charles
for you. Here's a
Barkley.
clip. Christopher Paul has had every opportunity to win a ring. He has been on every super team of the past 2 decades and hasn't been
Every
able to pull
super
it.
team?
Yes, he's
He
been
was-
on all of them.
Wow, that's,
Never on the Warriors.
He's been on every super team the last 2 decades. I'm just kidding. But Christopher
Kevin Durant
Paul.
and Curry were not a super team.
Bro, you're not a champion. It's because you're so worried about your LinkedIn profile, man.
Ooh.
Come on. He actually has a really nice LinkedIn profile if you guys haven't seen it.
Oh.
So does Cam Newton.
Does he?
Anyway,
It just
I
pops up a lot.
think Charles Barkley. I'm going Charles Barkley as my player who
Chuck.
deserves it.
Okay.
I think AI deserves a ring the most.
We are going to
That's
go out
valid.
of this rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Back in
It was-
with a 1.2.
his is Michael
At
Jordan.
1-2, first round, second pick. I'm
Oh, that's what that
taking
means? I'm just kidding.
yes, I'm taking the 2016 NBA Finals. LeBron overcoming a 3-1 series lead to bring
Sadness.
Cleveland the first ring, bringing it home against the 73-9 Warriors. I'm sorry if this hurts you, Seth.
It's okay.
It's the greatest finals of all time, point blank, period.
Cleveland!
I agree.
This is
The only
fun.
reason I said sadness was because of the fact that I don't get that.
Yeah,
Overall, I think that's the greatest sports moment to me.
I do too. I'm glad I was able to get it at 1-2.
So does that include, just genuinely curious, and I'm sure the audience is thinking the same thing, does that include LeBron's chase down block?
yeah, so I was going to make mention of that. Blocked by James.
Why?
Blocked by James is one of the greatest calls
See,
of
that's
all
what
time.
I'm- So not only do you
I have it at-
Right, Iguodala's layup that got blocked by LeBron.
I have it in my notes that that's one of
Used to lay
the
up
best
and
moments of all time.
So okay, so you do get that included.
It's in my notes, so I'm taking it.
All right, well, fair enough.
Okay,
And
so
the Kyrie Irving shot
block
because
off of my
Yeah, I mean, like
the entire series.
the entire 2016 NBA Finals series.
I'm taking the
incredible
NBA.
game by game.
Exactly.
Kyrie in the corner on the shot.
Yeah, I mean,
Taking the NBA, the entire NBA.
I didn't take a whole
ever.
league. I took one series, one playoff series.
All right.
He's so hurt.
He's so
It's
upset.
one to pick, and you can't choose.
You wanted one
And
play
all-
from the series, from the
all-
greatest finals of all time, rather than
Honest-
taking the
but
finals.
I don't revere it as the
Look,
greatest finals of
you
all time, but
have-
I'm also a salty Warriors fan.
I know
it
you are.
is the greatest finals of all time.
It
You,
is.
you have approximately 150 years of sports history across multiple sports, and this is the hill you're willing to die on.
Wait, I just want to say.
I'm willing to die on my taste.
Oh gosh, great line by the way. But it is wild to me that that series is so good that you have like blocked by James, you have the Kyrie Irving shot. Honestly, like just the Lakers in those short sleeve jerseys, you knew it was game time. Like they showed up when
Yeah.
they wore those
The
short sleeve.
Lakers?
I knew what you meant.
Dang it! Did I
He
say
said
the
LeBron.
Lakers?
I mean,
You know, I'm not even I'm not a
Cavs.
Cavs or a Lakers fan. I'm just a LeBron. No, I'm kidding.
LeBron hated those jerseys.
Yeah,
no,
everyone
they
did.
dominated in them.
But Kevin Harlan's blocked by James call, one of the greatest sports announcer calls of all time. And honestly, as this list develops, you'll see I have a lot of sportscaster moments because they make the
they
moments.
do definitely.
Hey
make
guys,
the
just
moment.
let the list develop, okay?
Okay.
All
Let the play develop.
All right, so with my first
Boo.
pick at 1.3, I am taking the shot, MJ and the Bulls versus the Cavs in the 1989 ECF, where he made the game-winning shot to send them to their first finals, and he just let the world have it with the most electric power move possible. There's pictures of it everywhere. My man jumps in the air, boom, with the fist. That's my number one pick.
It was the start of a dynasty.
Your energy went
Yeah, bro.
so quick.
he started off trying to convince himself, and then he realized that he
We
couldn't.
all agree.
No,
It was a great pick. Start of a
was.
dynasty, started the greatest run, the most dominant team of its era.
of his era. For
Great
sure.
pick.
I was gonna say, what about the
Thank you.
Celtics
Thank you very
teams?
much.
But they only played against 7 other teams. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my pick. I get back to back. Granted, mine. I'm just gonna go in the order that I think it matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with 28-3. Sorry, Falcons fans.
Oh,
but
that was my number
the
2.
greatest Super Bowl comeback. I mean, when you think about, honestly, can I just thinking back on that moment, I remember so well, like the Patriots scoring in overtime and like the confetti shoots everywhere, and they're like, "Hold up, we have to review it." I'm like, imagine if that touchdown's overturned. They have to clean the entire fit. Like,
Yeah.
they have to. Yeah, that would have been wild. But anyway, it stood. Greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time. So I'm going with the Patriots win over the Falcons in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, erased the largest lead in Super Bowl history. The Julian Edelman catch in that game.
Oh my
wild.
gosh!
When that
was-
happened live, I very vividly remember like the 2016 to like present where I was for all of those Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And watching it, I was like, oh no, that just got picked. And then I was like, oh no, that's an incompletion. And then I went, holy cow, he just caught that. And like the whole process of going from one extreme of emotion to another when that happened.
Yeah, no,
It was
insane.
because like you said, it looked like it was picked off, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, well, incomplete. What? That was a cat? Yeah, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the Panthers have only been in 2. They lost both, so maybe I don't have the greatest Super Bowl memories,
Sadness.
but the greatest Super Bowl memory I have, it was great.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, I don't
go
pray
ahead.
on anyone's downfall, but it makes me so happy Matt Ryan didn't get that ring. I don't know why.
Wow.
I will pray on Matt Ryan's downfall.
Dang.
Matt Ryan, I'm after you like Cam Jordan.
It's just because he played in your
Division,
for
yeah.
so long. Yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, I like Julio Jones. Like, and he
No.
used to torch. Listen,
Anyone that's ever been on the Falcons, you're my op. It's just that's how it works.
You're my op.
Yes, personally.
ironically, for some reason, I disliked the Tampa Bay Buccaneer Tom Brady teams more than I disliked the Matt
Patriots.
Ryan Falcons teams. No,
I
I'm just
think-
saying, since they're division rivals,
I think the Saints Falcons rivalry goes deeper than anyone else
Probably
in the
does.
division because
honestly,
they hate the Saints and
Fair
it's
enough.
mutual.
see, I don't know. Maybe we just beat the Falcons, but I feel like we lose to the Saints all the time. So
Yeah.
It's the worst.
we don't really have a rivalry with the Falcons. We just beat them.
It's a big brother, little brother situation.
What kind of love triangle is that, though? And then if y'all go back and forth and we dominate them but lose to y'all, how does that work?
I don't know, man.
So it's back to me. I would like.
He gets 2 picks.
Oh, okay.
Snake
okay,
draft.
okay.
Yeah, so
That
I'd
makes
like to
sense,
pair,
makes sense.
to me, the greatest Super Bowl of all time with the greatest Cinderella story of all time. I'm going to go with the Cardiac Pack, the 83 NC State Cinderella championship team.
Good
Jim
pick.
Valvano looking around for someone to hug after the game-winning shot. Listen, I understand. Anyone that was probably born before that happened,
Go Heels.
or... Yeah, I mean, y'all
Gross.
won more, but there's not been a honestly, looking at it, there's not been a better Cinderella team in maybe all of sports. I'm just gonna
Whoa,
put it
buddy.
out there.
St. Peter's.
University of Maryland,
But that
Brunswick County.
Made it all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
and they didn't make it all the way, but
Loyola
Chicago. I can't say it.
I was
Loyola.
gonna There's a lot of
This
good.
year that made
They
it,
made it to the Final Four.
I mean,
Princeton was a 15 seed.
UAB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say
yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon's Houston Cougars 31-2.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler were on the same basketball team and lost
Yeah.
to Thurl Bailey. If you don't know who that is, that's fine. I don't blame you.
Thurl Bailey, baby.
But anyway, I feel like that's might be the greatest Cinderella in at least college basketball sports for sure. So
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's-
pair 2 great underdog stories.
That's the greatest college basketball game of all time, I think.
It was wild.
Good-
Comes down to
good
the
pick.
last shot too, and it's not even like what's so wild if you look at it. It's a putback
Yeah.
of a missed shot to win the game and the national championship. And actually, if you look at the run, there was multiple game winners from NC State. Sorry, just wanted to finally. This team hasn't won since then, so I thought I would just enjoy the fact that they haven't won since 20 years before I was born, basically.
Right now, Steven is doing what every NC State fan does and just celebrate this one victory, the only one they've ever had.
Hold up. I also celebrate David Thompson winning. That was honestly might have been the most dominant
David
college
Thompson.
basketball team.
What a
Well,
sad story.
how many of our fans or listeners have clicked out because NC State lost?
Exactly.
Hey, honestly, if you don't like, but for real, if I'm talking about current day NC State, you go ahead, click off. I don't even blame you. But if I'm talking about the 83 and David Thompson, 2 of the better college basketball teams of all time, well, all right, how many national championships does ECU
Seth,
have?
what's your-
Hey. Chill out.
Go Heels. Anyways, all right. With my second pick, 2.2, I am taking one of the biggest blunders to ever happen in a Super Bowl game. I'm taking the Malcolm Butler interception.
That's a good pick.
Pete Carroll not running the ball on the 1 yard line with Marshawn Lynch, the best power back running back in the league. What are you doing? Why are you passing the ball?
So at first I was confused when you
Super
said
Bowl 49.
Yeah, no, when you said blunder, I'm like, what? These are great moments. But then that was a blunder.
They threw
should
the
have run.
ball
Yeah, no.
on the 1 yard line and got picked off by an
I
undrafted
am
free
aware.
agent rookie.
Marshawn Lynch.
With Marshawn Lynch.
Look, I have more beef with Malcolm Butler than I have any other NFL player. Man, not that he would have made a difference, but man, side with the Cardinals, he's like, nah, I'm a retire. Okay.
Richard
right.
Sherman got through that play. Got done with that game. He was like, I'm out of here. I'm never playing for this team ever again.
On to my
Don't
next
blame 'em.
pick to show y'all that I am not a man of bias. I will take what is objectively the most heartbreaking game I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Like, this shattered my soul for weeks. On January 14th, 2018,
Yep.
down 28-23 with 5 seconds to go, Stephon Diggs
Yeah.
takes the Vikings to the NFC
It was on
Championship
my list. Dang it.
in the Minneapolis Miracle. Let me point out, the Vikings got blown out by the Eagles next week.
Oh, yeah.
The championship Eagles, led by Nicholas Foles, of all people.
I can't say his nickname on this show. Dang it.
Free safety Marcus Williams, rookie, not only couldn't tackle Diggs, but also knocked over the only guy who could. And I was shattered. I was listening to it on the radio as it happened live, and hearing Joe Buck saying passes caught, Diggs. Oh my gosh. I don't want to relive it. Yeah, I don't want to
It was on
relive
my
it.
list. That was a good pick.
I won't make
It's just sad. Okay. So, like, I have a clear number 2 I want to go with here, but I'm going to save it for later in the draft. I don't think anyone's going to take it. I'm going to keep it secure in a bubble. So, I'm going to take another great commentating moment. Ray Allen, 2013 Finals, corner 3.
Yeah.
Bang!
Yep.
Won't go. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was one of those that like
That was
crossing my fingers, hope it makes
watched
it back.
it live as a kid, electric. That just really cemented watching basketball for me.
That was
Ray
LeBron's
Allen.
second ring.
Watching that whole finals run
Mm-hmm.
was just beautiful. And if Ray Allen did not hit that shot, LeBron, he's probably still second greatest all time. I won't say he's not, but his legacy has a big dent in it.
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't already with the finals conversation, but that would have been like if you only won one or two in Miami, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he won one. He won two in Miami.
Yes.
If he only won one in Miami,
Oh, you're
that
saying without
super
this one,
team,
right?
that would have been wild.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have like outlived that.
I will say that is Mike Breen's greatest work and one of the most iconic calls, period,
Yeah,
of
I
all
agree more.
time.
It's
Could not agree
Couldn't
more.
agree more.
All right,
You're back
I got
up.
another
Yep.
back to back. Okay, I'm gonna take another one here. That this is it's an iconic moment. It doesn't have any impact on sports history in terms of like one individual game. But I'm gonna take the Odell Beckham catch here.
Oh, man, that was on my list, too.
Because-
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Just to be able to like, he did for football, in terms of saying Kobe. When
Yeah.
he's getting ready to shoot a paper into a trash, in a trash can.
Mm-hmm.
He made that same level of impact. I can't talk anymore. That same,
No,
this
you're
is
good.
the episode where Nate can't talk. Same level of impact where people throw up a football, they say Odell, and they
Yep.
go to get the catch. So I'm taking that there. for
Nah,
my
valid, very valid.
pick.
Yeah, 100%. I don't want to take only football, but I have one pick I don't think anybody's going to take, so I'm going to save that for the end.
That
Someone
was
snatches
Nate's
it up.
third pick.
Yes.
Out of
Yeah,
five.
so this is
Right.
my third pick.
Are we doing honorable mentions at the end?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can.
I mean, if you have any notable ones, I'm
All
sure
right.
there will be.
If I'm trying to win this thing, I'm gonna have a well-rounded little grouping of picks.
I think that's the best way to go.
Give me the Cubs ending a 108-year championship drought, winning the
2016?
2016
Yeah.
World Series.
Special.
Sports
Led
kinda
by
peak.
24-year-old Chris Bryant. That team was special. Wilson Contreras was on that team. I was a Cubs fan from that moment on. And
yeah.
they've been mid ever since.
2016 was
Well, hey,
wild.
they did it.
Yeah, I mean, they did it.
Two of North America's biggest sports teams going down 3-1, coming back.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Same year.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
If I'm not mistaken, now the Arizona Cardinals have the longest sports drought championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you
Whoa.
don't count the Pittsburgh Cardinals year, but anyway.
That's
Yeah, that
brutal.
was 2016 was the greatest year for sports, and to get two of the three major events that happened that year, I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Yep. Fair.
Seth, why are you yawning?
You
tired.
mentioned baseball and he doesn't understand. that.
I understand baseball a decent amount. I just don't watch them much.
He's like, yeah, home run, strikeout, touchdown. Let's move on.
Anyways, with my third pick, 3.3, I am taking the Jordan flu game.
Do you mean the food
That's what I'm
poisoning
saying. Game
game?
5 of the 1997 NBA Finals, Michael Jordan was incredibly sick with what was thought then by the media to be the flu, but we now know is food poisoning, and he still dropped 38 points to lead the Bulls to a 90 to 88 victory over the Utah Jazz.
You have a very
Robert.
Jordan-heavy list.
I mean, he's the greatest player of all time.
As I was saying, though, I think Jordan's the greatest competitive player of all time, just because he has that edge. No.
I think in terms
Kobe?
of skill, LeBron is better. But I think Jordan just had a different mindset that LeBron hasn't been.
Well,
able to.
I'm talking about across all sports.
Yeah, I think Kobe and Jordan had the
Across
same.
all
Oh, I was
sports, you
talking
think
about-
he's the biggest killer in all of sports?
I was talking about specifically the NBA.
Ooh.
In all of sports.
You know what's crazy? Hear me out. I'm not even a Kobe fan. Really, realistically, I rate Kobe so much lower. But honestly, I think Kobe's mindset was better than Jordan's. Just personally,
I
because
do too.
like Jordan had a lot of other interests in his life, but Kobe
I mean,
was
that may be
like
fair.
basketball. And I think honestly, Kobe maybe
But
probably
he
didn't have
had
as much
the
talent.
right amount of mentality and skill,
Yeah.
the right mix.
I'm not saying Kobe's better than Jordan.
We're-
Don't get me wrong.
We're going to experience something. Heat come back. They win the championship. Jimmy wins
Jimmy
2 more,
Butler.
and we remember
Ooh.
the killer mentality.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
The Bulls, Kobe, Jimmy.
Wait, did you say he wins 2 more after that?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Kimmy Butler.
That would be wild.
Jimmy
Also,
wins
if you're
his third
pulling
chip
for the
at
Nuggets
35.
in this NBA Finals, click off the video, hit like and leave.
No, you don't have to do that.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be
Jokic
mad if they
deserves.
won
Yeah,
it.
it's by a Warriors fan. We're gonna be realistic.
my
Jokic deserves a
God.
ring. Okay, he's the best center in the NBA.
Hey, whoa, buddy. I'll take second best.
He's the best
Take it or
center
leave it.
in the NBA.
Okay, so if
Second,
hold
take
on,
it or
hold
leave
up. Who's the best?
George Niang's.
Oh, okay.
Power forward.
Wait, but who
It
is
was
the
all set up.
Wait, is it really?
No, set up for the bit.
Okay,
Okay.
good enough.
Yep. All right, Steven, you're up.
Also, I wouldn't have such a Jordan heavy lineup, but a lot of my things got taken. So.
That's
Fair.
valid. That's valid. My list is already changing too. And you know what? This is where I'm gonna lose everyone. Okay, I feel like right now I have a good list, and this
NC
is where
State was like a great pick, but you kind of got us like hanging off the edge. So where are we going with this, man?
I'm
because
scared.
I have the greatest Super Bowl moment. I have the greatest Cinderella team, and I'm going to go with the most watched and maybe not. Yeah, you know what? Worldwide, the most
know where
watched
this is going.
sports
Oh, yeah.
event to ever happen, and that was the 2022 FIFA World Cup Finals.
Oh,
Between Argentina, where Messi finally got a championship.
that's fair.
It had
Nah,
about 2 billion
that's
watchers,
valid.
so that's unbelievable.
That's valid.
Yeah, so
Listen up, Americans. We need
yeah,
to-
for real. It was a great moment. Messi finally won a World Cup, proving he's
no
better than
American.
Ronaldo.
If
football,
you
but-
saw the celebration
South American
in his
football.
hometown,
Said it won't no
in-
American
in
football.
Argentina,
I'm on Twitter. I saw it.
it was wild. Like,
Yeah, when we're talking about things that have over 1.5 billion views as it happened live, it's a great
makes-
sports moment.
As a massive Messi fan, I'm okay
it
with
makes it makes
Massive.
any NFL or Super Bowl parade look like it was just like
Yeah.
a teenager throwing a house party.
It also,
Did you see Philly after 2018?
Well, I was gonna say it also makes the audiences of those look small because like
Yeah.
wasn't it like 100 million people watch the Super Bowl? Great, that's good numbers. Especially that's like 1/3 of the country.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
1.5 billion.
I mean, respectfully,
What,
it's like
billion?
it's like city.
Billion, Seth.
This is my
Yeah.
Philly. This is my city. Argentina. This is my country. You
Right.
know, like
Yeah, and plus it went down to penalty kicks, full time, extra time.
That's
it
a
was
beautiful
It was a
game.
great game, and Messi had 3 goals, and Mbappe had 3 goals. It wasn't even one of those
It was a
boring soccer.
showdown.
Yeah, it wasn't even a boring soccer game where it ended 1-0.
PSG.
Multiple
drama.
people had hat tricks, so it was a great game. I might have lost you there. I don't know. Some might even
That's
consider.
a valid pick.
That's a good pick
It's a
for
valid
everyone outside of America.
So
Are
right
you
now,
Spike. Like,
I have football, I have basketball, I have soccer. Honestly, I didn't know where to go.
He's
at
killing us
1.4.
again with these lists. Oh my gosh.
Well-
Steven is a goat at drafting.
Let's see if I lose someone here. I like the mindset. I like the Jordan. So I'm going Kobe dropping 60 in his last game before he.
dang it.
That's not the Kobe moment I would have
That's
picked.
not the one that I
That's
have.
on my list.
See, I know Kobe 81 is probably what most people are
Yeah.
thinking, but just the celebration of the icon.
Yeah,
and I
that
don't-
makes sense. I
Yeah.
like it. I
I'm
like
going
the pick.
I'm okay with that. I
Just
thought
'cause-
about putting it.
I think it was also completely off the radar.
If y'all hear sirens, we're okay. I don't know what's going on out there, but I don't know if it'll show up on your mic
Well,
either.
the
but-
fire siren went off. So I'm
Seth-
guessing the fire truck's going out
Seth
now.
got so
Logical
mad that
order.
Chris said baseball and then I threw in soccer that he finally had enough and he
called her
needed
police.
help.
down.
I don't like America's pastime, and I don't like non-American sport.
So I'm going with Kobe 60. To me, it's
That
just
was on my list.
yeah.
It's
I
valid.
like it.
It's
I,
valid.
I just think
I
it was
forgot to put it on
the
my list,
celebration of Kobe Bryant. To be
I
honest,
remember where I was when that game was happening too. I was sitting in Zaxby's and I watched him just give every bucket to the Jazz.
everybody and
That
the,
little Zaxby's TV. Up
Yeah.
there.
They're trying their hardest.
the only thing to me
make it-
also the thing that made it so special is that the Warriors won their historic 73rd game the exact time as that, and no one was watching. No one cared that the Warriors.
2016?
Yeah, they were. No one cared that the Warriors went 73-9. They cared that Kobe Bryant went out on 60, hit clutch shots to beat the Jazz. So I'm going Kobe 60.
And they chose the right game because the Warriors didn't win the championship.
Yeah, so they're like 73-9 fraud. Anyway, I just threw that out
Alright.
there for Seth. Back to you, Seth.
He's rewriting a list right now.
I just thought of one that I forgot that I'm about to take.
Oh, was it the Kobe 81? Sure.
No. I
Okay.
already had that on my list. With my 4th pick, I am taking LeBron James passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Kareem
in
Abdul.
points all time.
You know what? I'm so stupid for that not even being on my list. That
Like, y'all, there was such a big build up to that. People were buying freaking $4,000 nosebleed tickets for like the game before he actually did it. They thought he was going to drop like 60 points, and finally he plays. I think was he playing the Thunder? I want to say right.
I don't remember.
Whoever he was, I think it was the Thunder. They were trying their hardest
Look,
to stop
Thunder
him,
at home.
and he hit a turnaround fadeaway mid-range jumper to break the all-time record, and they just stopped the game in the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, that was so weird how they just stopped the game.
Yeah, they could have at least waited to the fourth. Like, it was
Someone
like
on
30 seconds left in the third.
Someone on Twitter was like, "NBA giving the Lakers old players a second halftime." I see y'all.
That's probably what they were doing.
I have two
Yeah,
more
very good
picks. Oh, man. I have two places I could go that I really want to take because I'm saving my last one. Actually, I'll go ahead and take the one that I want the most.
I'm so sorry, Chris, but what is happening?
Something's on fire, guys.
Let
It
the
happens all the
developers
time.
in trouble when they're coming to shut us down.
All right. I'm going to take what inspired me to make this idea for this draft list. It's my favorite sports moment of all time. Y'all are not going to care one bit.
Cool.
Give me the
shit.
2013 Iron Bowl. The kick six is the greatest moment in all of
No,
sports.
I was going to say the kick six is super iconic. So.
Yes. And the call on it, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The commentator, he's like, Auburn's going to win the football game.
Yeah,
It's just the amount of shock. And then everyone in the stadium, they were down 28-27 with 1 second on the clock.
Yeah.
And then Auburn returned the failed kick attempt by Alabama to win the game. Oh my goodness. You cannot go from such a more wide array of emotions in that short a time period.
Especially like you said, just listening to the commentary, it's like not even he could believe what he was witnessing.
He couldn't process it.
He's like,
That is
Auburn's winning? Like, what?
that is all that people talked about the entire next day or so.
Yeah, it's
all
so.
people talked
Great
about.
pick. To get that as number, what, 4?
4,
yeah.
That's why.
That's
I probably
Well,
could have saved it for 5,
for
but I
you.
wanted to lock it down.
No, I don't blame you.
And
but-
this is one. Can I go ahead and?
Yeah, go ahead.
One I could have saved for 5, but man, I wish I had taken it too. It's a great moment, and I'm going with this is kind of a package deal because I'm going with Muhammad Ali's "I am the greatest" speech.
Okay.
And that combined with his win over George Foreman to cement him as that next guy up, powerful. Like, it may not be your typical baseball, basketball, football sport, but you hear that speech every time. It makes you laugh, but gives you chills in the same moment. Like, it's just
It's powerful.
Valid,
yeah,
very
so I'm
valid.
picking that as number 4.
Okay.
Number 5. Whew.
Not
It's
even
a
he is
tough
sure. Oh, go ahead.
No, I have plenty on my list.
Yeah, I
but
know. Narrowing it down.
Number 5. This is one we kind of discussed earlier, and I'm just going to go with it because it was a moment in time, and I'm going with Linsanity to round out my list.
Okay.
Because
Listen,
who
I
would
understand.
have thought that Jeremy Lin, if you have a moment so great in time that you can get about 3 documentaries made about you just on that, and you are not a Hall of Famer, you
Yeah.
did something electric.
Wild.
The matter that he was about to get cut, he did it in New York, of all places. And the only reason who knows who Jeremy Lin could have been. Not saying he would have been like an all-time great, but who knows who he could have been if Carmelo didn't come back and ruin that situation.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put Linsanity rounding it out at 5.
Now, you might call me fake because I have Linsanity on my list, but I didn't take it. But Jeremy Lin is genuinely my favorite NBA player, so I respect that.
My
He
favorite-
cemented his place on my all-time list when he took the Hornets to the playoffs. That was when I was like, wow, that's a good player.
Was he really good?
My favorite Jeremy Lin moment all time is when he demanded the final shot
Yes,
from
over
Kobe.
Kobe.
Yep.
He's like,
What's
give
so
me the
wild?
ball.
Kobe did it. That tells you
Yeah.
something about Jeremy Lin. He's like, all right, go ahead.
the lack of respect for my Muhammad Ali pick is really wild.
No.
No, I like the pick. It makes sense.
I was
I mean,
gonna say,
yeah, it was a good pick.
listen,
Okay.
He's the greatest
I think
boxer of all time.
it would have gone further on our list, but I think it deserves to be there. So
He's the most electric boxer of all time.
If you try to
Anytime
freaking make,
Seth says something, I've gone.
if you try to make an argument that Mike Tyson is better than freaking Muhammad
oh no,
Ali,
Why
he's gonna go
would-
Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather.
Floyd May. Oh wait, no.
Manny Pacquiao.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
why would your thought immediately go to? Why wouldn't it go
Why?
to Floyd Mayweather?
I didn't think about Floyd Mayweather. You might be right.
But-
It was
No.
Logan Paul because
It's
he
Tyson
went 9
Fury.
rounds with it.
not to stay on Muhammad Ali too long, but just another clip of him just dodging in the corner.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
when he does the shimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good clip.
Beautiful.
Wild.
Okay,
Number 5, Chris. How you feeling?
I'm up. Man,
There's so many.
so
There's a lot of people left.
I don't want to win this draft so bad, but I feel like Steven's already too far ahead. So do I take the pick that's
Love
gonna?
it.
Do I take the pick that's gonna settle my heart, or am I gonna take the pick that's gonna get me closer to winning?
Look, I'm just saying you're the only person who says Steven is objectively winning.
Steven
every
is
draft.
objectively winning this draft.
I mean, I don't think that's true. I think
So who do you
think
think's
sports are
competing?
so diverse that
Okay, let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. If I take the last pick that I want to take, I'm going to lose the draft.
I don't know.
I
I thought-
personally strayed away from some of my.
I like yours better than
I'll-
Nate's. I'm
love
just-
this place.
I'll save it for the honorable mentions, but I want everyone to know that this is
That's what I did.
as honorable as mentions get.
So is this your honorable mention?
No,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
going to give my fifth pick.
I was about to say.
For my
Let's
fifth
steal it.
pick, I guess I'll stay football. We've had a football theme only 3 of my. Oh, I did take a basketball moment. Okay, yeah, I feel less bad about this now. Give me the helmet catch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost put that on my list. I
that's
almost put it on
good.
my
That's
list.
good.
That was-
I feel better. I forgot I took the game or the 2016 finals first, so I feel better having a basketball pick. But nobody receiver David Tyree made the play of his life on a crucial 3rd and 5 to secure Super Bowl 42 against the undefeated Patriots
Yeah.
with the Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski,
Gronkowski.
and Aaron Hernandez quartet. I mean, that team was insane. And the scramble on the throw before, like, he almost got sacked twice on
Right.
that play before the throw. And the fact that he stayed up is his greatest play of his career.
I was gonna say also because that's a great play, winning a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Period. But when you factored in beating the undefeated Tom Brady,
They were
Patriots,
18-0.
That's
That's
that
crazy.
cements that on another level. So
Yeah.
I like the pick a lot actually. That's great value for a 5. Which
Yeah.
granted we're only doing 20 moments.
Right.
So, but that's crazy. That's good.
Yeah. I'm glad I was able to get it. All right, Nate, pick 20.
Nope.
No, wait,
I'm
pause.
done.
19.
My bad.
This is-
I went the wrong way.
No, that's fine. You're good.
All right, so I'm really struggling between a couple here.
I have 2 that I can't think of. So take one of
Dude,
mine.
the
so I
last
have no
one is
choice.
so hard.
Please
I feel
take
like
mine.
this is a steal, but I've also gone basketball heavy. But I feel like if I don't take this, I'm an idiot.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Wilt's 100-point game.
I'm not upset because I mean it's a
I
milestone
feel like
that
Kobe's
who's gonna-
81
who's
is
gonna
over
pass it?
Wilt.
So here's the thing I don't like about the 100-point game.
I love
It's
Wilt,
that they force-fed him the ball to get to 100 points. It would have been a much greater moment if it happened organically, but like even they were playing the Knicks that game. The Knicks players said, like in reports after the game, they were like, "I wish we could just get him to 100 points so we can end this game already." Like they'd given up far before the fourth quarter ended.
Okay, so
That
can I
doesn't
change
take
my
away
pick
from
then?
the moment.
What do you mean? So they could just end this game already?
Can I change?
Like
my-
they didn't. They wanted to stop playing because they just kept force feeding Wilt the ball to give him 100 points.
And they couldn't stop
I
him.
mean,
if
I
they
didn't
can't
know
stop
that.
them, then
I didn't know that. Can I change my pick then?
No, your picture pick.
the will. But I mean, I also wish there was footage of that game.
Right.
I would like to see footage.
I think the Knicks
the
scored.
iconic photo that
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
everyone knows exactly what I'm talking
It's
about. The
not a
iconic
bad
photo where he's
pick.
holding up the 100.
No,
paper.
yeah.
I don't think it's a bad choice, but
Yours is personal preference.
I think that the backstory behind it takes away from the moment itself.
That's fair.
No, I get it. So I'm looking at my list.
Stop ruining people's confidence, Chris.
No, I'm
Seth's
trying
over
to
here
win
crying
this
to the
draft.
It's,
I thought I had this sold.
I can't build my list up, so I'm gonna tear theirs down. You know?
I thought I
Do
had
both.
this. I thought I had this in the bag.
Okay,
Good
I'm
job,
sorry.
Seth.
I love so far. I love my list. I feel like I'm gonna mess up at 5
No, you're not.
because I love having the greatest Super Bowl of all time, greatest Cinderella, greatest soccer match that ever happened, and then I have Kobe's iconic 60. So I really don't want to mess this up because I really have something from each. But I'm gonna go with, just because of Chris's pick, destroying of the Patriots' undefeated seasons. I'm gonna take the Dolphins' 1972 undefeated season, the only undefeated season in NFL history.
Okay.
You know,
Beautiful.
I just feel like that's a good way to wrap it up.
Good value for the
very last
round.
pick. Yeah, I
don't love
honestly,
it, but-
I know. I had a hard time between 3 different ones. I didn't know. I really wanted a baseball one up there, but you took the 2016.
Best baseball.
It was just the best baseball moment. I didn't want to follow it up with something less. So
Yeah.
So that's our 20 picks.
Yep. So do we want to go through honorable mentions
yeah,
now?
you want to just
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
that
go
way?
in order.
All right. So a lot of my honorable mentions are personal favorites.
Oh yeah.
I did have one sports blunder that was not a personal favorite, but I have 2000 Super Bowl Stephen McNair 1 yard short.
Oh yeah, that's
that
such
That
a
was
good
almost
one.
on my
That
list.
was almost on my list.
I'm so
He
mad. I
fought
just
for
thought
that
about one that I
so
forgot.
hard.
Now we get into personal favorite territory. I got Cardinals versus Packers in the playoffs in 2016.
Okay.
That was a great
Yeah.
game. You have the Cardinals go down and score. You don't think the Packers are going to make it back. Hail Mary to
Carson
Jordy
Palmer?
Nelson catches it in the yes, it was Carson Palmer.
Okay.
But then we get in, I'm like, oh, the Cardinals blew it. We get into we get into overtime, and you see Larry Fitzgerald just go electric. And then that shovel pass to get him to the end zone. Oh,
I
just
watched
a
that game live.
great
It was wild.
Sports. Okay. Other honorable mention. This one's just like because I was watching the game and Katie, I literally shouted in the living room while my wife was in the bedroom. She was like, "What were you doing in there?" It was DeAndre Hopkins' catch versus the Bills. It's not an all-time great sports moment, but
It's all these
But
Cardinal
that Hail
picks.
Mary. Oh, dude, why was some of Aaron Rodgers' Hail Marys not in there? Sorry.
Because nobody likes Aaron Rodgers.
That's valid.
But
He should have
Okay.
retired last season.
To see D-Hop just three defenders.
No, for
his
real.
hands reach up, grab that.
There's
Yeah.
wasn't there
Come
3 or 4? I can't remember if it was 3 or 4.
something
Yeah,
like that, but
it
it
was
was-
unreal. Yeah, you can't even see DeAndre
See
Hopkins.
Kyler just as this 5'9" guy roll out of the pocket, all of his body just launch it downfield.
And he's looking at the
he's going towards the
Jumbotron.
sideline. You don't even know if he's going to go out of bounds or
Yeah.
not.
And he's looking at the Jumbotron to see if it's completed because he can't see. That's wild and iconic.
And then, lastly, this was in a loss. It's not going to be remembered just because it's in a loss. Marcus Page's shot versus Villanova.
Oh yeah.
Also,
that-
okay.
Oh yeah.
That
was-
that whole
other-
game is a really
I'm not gonna lie. I shed a couple tears over that game, bro. I shed a
Gets his
couple.
legs up
my
in the
dad
air.
broke
It's
our
okay.
television remote because of that game. When that shot went in, my dad takes our TV remote and throws it at the TV stand, and my mom freaks out at him, bro.
See, I was gonna say that's the game that you just mentioned was what I'm
I was
kind of regretting
so
taking the
upset.
1972 Miami Dolphins over. I realize I don't know. I forgot the camera's not on, but literally as Nate starts his honorable mentions, I roll my head back thinking,
I saw
"What
that.
have I done? I let that go undrafted." So I'm disappointed in myself, but you
That
know.
shot was wild.
Well, and
Yeah,
then
that
Malcolm
whole-
Jenkins on the other end.
Oh, Jenkins'
Yeah.
shot was great, too. But Marcus
he's
Page's
won.
difficulty of shot.
The last 2 minutes of that game was insane.
after he
Unbelievable.
had gone all season getting ridiculed by announcers saying that he's so inconsistent in his shooting, he's not efficient, and then he hits one of the biggest shots ever to happen in college basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
I
it was
like
all for nothing.
the shot you said was definitely more difficult, and honestly, to me, slightly more impressive just because of the difficulty that came with it. But
Yeah.
as far as the Malcolm Jenkins,
That'll be remembered.
one of the
Chris
greatest
Jenkins,
college
right?
basketball shots of all time.
Is it Malcolm Jenkins?
Wasn't it?
Chris Jenkins.
I'm not
Oh.
trying to correct you.
Oh,
Chris
my
Jenkins.
my apologies. Does he have a brother?
corrected.
Didn't he? Oh, his brother's name wasn't even Jenkins. Never mind.
His brother was Nate Britt, who was on the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that's what I was
Malcolm
thinking.
Jenkins was drafted by the Saints.
Oh,
He had a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm a Saints fan. I don't know.
Is that all of your
That's all my
mentions?
honor.
All right, I have a bunch of honorable mentions.
Thank
the
you for bringing up
one
Marcus Page.
the one I wanted to take, the Saints 2006 off season. Do you guys know what happened in 2006?
Was that the Sean Payton?
Sean Payton, Drew Brees both signed with the Saints. Holy cow, what a duo.
And then he got suspended from the league.
Hey.
To hurt.
Holy
injure other
cow,
players.
what a duo.
I can honestly say I didn't think of an off-season moment, but like I'm not saying it doesn't deserve. I'm just saying that's wild because I did not think of any off-season moment.
I had a couple signings, off-season stuff that
Kevin
I thought
Durant to the
about.
Warriors.
That will,
How did I not get that? Oh my god.
that will never make a maybe like worst sports moments.
Yeah.
That might make my list there.
I would pick LeBron going to Miami over
Yeah,
that.
definitely the big three. Yeah.
Oh,
For sure. Decision,
as far as
that's a
best,
great sports
yeah.
moment.
the
I was just
decision.
saying-
That's such a good sports moment.
Yeah. Spurs.
What is wrong with us?
fact
I
that it was a-
hate my 1972 Dolphins pick.
Televised
Yeah.
event where LeBron was going to
See,
go. Crazy.
thankfully the Dolphins just celebrated their 50-year anniversary of having the 1972 undefeated, or else I would be done for, because honestly,
It's okay. You don't have to defend your pick.
I'm not defending it. I'm trashing it. What do you mean? I hate myself.
Marino slept on.
Well, my next two honorable mentions are both NBA games, and they happened within 2 weeks of each other.
Oh, wow.
So number one, Damian Lillard waving off OKC.
Almost.
One of the greatest clutch shots I've.
He
Classic.
broke up a team.
Yeah,
That was
like
the end of
it
that
ended
Thunder.
it ended the Thunder trying to compete. They went into complete rebuild mode.
Which, good for them. Honestly, he may have saved the Thunder's franchise.
Yeah.
Just saying.
If you haven't ever seen it, Paul George on his podcast, he talks about that moment.
He's like, it's a bad shot.
Yeah, he said,
I mean-
he said he's looking at the shot clock behind him.
Yeah.
Watching it count down. He's like, is he gonna shoot it?
He said, I'm going to bleep out one of the words. He said, this mother is going to shoot it from here.
Yeah, it's wild because, I mean, statistically looking at it, he took a super deep shot, very contested. So, I mean, technically, you would say that. That's one of those, like, oh my gosh, what? Great shot. Like, you know what I mean? You'd be upset at your team, like, we didn't draw up a play, but then you're like, oh, it's Damian Lillard.
Then
Good
there's
job.
that video of Dame. They take him back out to where he took the shot. He said, I shot it from here.
Yeah.
He
And then
didn't even
casually
know.
makes the shot again.
Yeah.
I love
Shoots
the
it.
reactions of the players after the game. It's the same thing with Jimmy Butler when he walked off the court from the 76ers. Y'all chose Tobias Harris over me?
Yeah. So that leads into my next one. Kawhi hitting the game winner, ending
Oh
the
my
process.
gosh.
That
Yeah.
happened 2 weeks to the day after Dame ended OKC.
You love shots. that
Wow,
end
I didn't
teams.
even.
Yeah.
I didn't even
I
realize
do.
That
that.
shot was wild.
It was the first Game 7 game winner in NBA history, and Kevin Harlan had an all-time call with that one where he said, "Is this the dagger?" And then they just went ballistic in the booth, all
ball.
screaming, "Oh!"
I love
Yeah, there was
Kevin
so
Harlan
much tension in that moment.
Watching it in the air, just
If I wasn't able to get the 2016 finals, I would have taken that pick for my NBA pick.
That's
That's
valid.
But as a Sixers fan, I can't even be mad at it. It's one of my favorite shots of all time.
I don't even
And the
playoff-
picture that went with it.
Kawhi's playoff run on that year could be picked as one of the all-time greatest.
See,
that
Yeah.
was
Absolutely. And our regular listeners, you know, I'm a big Kawhi Leonard
hater.
hater. I don't like Kawhi Leonard, but I have to respect that,
ever
that
since-
series so much.
There has been a Kyle Lowry missing poster.
All right, I have 6 more honorable mentions.
Whoa.
All right,
We should
next
have gone to
one.
mine. I had like
6
two.
more?
Yeah. All right,
fine.
next one. Chris Webber's timeout in the 1993 national championship game.
Go Heels, baby.
No, we're not going to talk about that one. Next one. Tracy McGrady, 13 points in 30 seconds.
Okay, actually, no. Hold up.
I forgot.
Hold up. Now I'm mad at myself again.
Nate's like, what?
Should have.
Because these were honorable mentions I thought about. Oh my god, the 13.
13 points in 30 seconds.
T-Mac. And
Insane.
also because
moment.
the Spurs were scoring, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like one of those where they choked. No, they were making their free throws. T-Mac
Yeah.
just said, yeah, this is my game. And
Yeah.
they were like, okay.
Next one I had on the list, Kobe's 81-point game, 2006 against
Of
the
course.
Raptors.
I had that one too.
Next
Got you,
one,
Jalen Rose.
the Redeem Team. I feel like that's an all-time sports moment. Another one that got a documentary made about it.
Dude,
If you haven't watched that documentary, I highly suggest it. It was really good.
who are you pointing at, Seth? The camera's dead.
You are completely right.
These last 2 picks are kind of homer picks for me. Tracy Porter sealing the Super Bowl 44 for the Saints against Peyton Manning's Colts with the pick 6. One of the greatest defensive plays in Super Bowl history. I'm here for it. I love Tracy Porter. Tracy
Surprise
Porter.
halftime on.
Yeah, the onside kick
Also
beforehand.
another
yeah, that
Yeah.
was wild.
Such a good. That's such a good Super Bowl in general. And then the picture afterwards of Drew Brees tossing his son into the air with the confetti all around him. Such a good Super Bowl.
Did he catch his son?
He caught the trophy.
No, Tracy
instead.
Porter caught him and took him to the end zone.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
imagine.
And then my last honorable mention, Appalachian State defeating Michigan week 1 of, I forgot what year. They defeated
App
them.
State.
Okay, this is the only reason people know who App State is when it comes to
You're
football.
not wrong.
They defeated Michigan, who were the defending national championships, 34-32, week 1 of the college football season, and the world was silent on Michigan.
Yeah.
It almost ended Harbaugh's career in Michigan before it really got off the ground.
That's wild.
So those are my honorable mentions.
Very valid. Very
Respectable.
valid. Yeah,
right.
honestly,
Who we got, Seth?
should have gone over many
So
picks that I
excited for this. Steven's been waiting for this. He knows a few of them because I talked to him about them earlier.
Oh yeah.
So my honorable mentions: number 1, Deflategate.
Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't think about that.
Tom Brady deflating them footballs to try to get an edge over the Colts in the
For the Colts.
over the Colts in the 2014 AFC Championship, where they absolutely
Was it
demolished
that long
the Colts.
ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a while.
Holy cow.
Because also,
10
did he
years?
play for another year and then suffer the suspension?
Yeah.
Or, I'm so like
He finished out that year, and they
Yeah.
and I think the next
He got
start of the
suspended
next
4 games at the start of the next year.
next
Jimmy
year. Oh,
Garoppolo
okay.
went
Yeah,
3-1 as a starter.
Colts,
Yeah. Thank
Colts
you.
defense noticed the balls that the Patriots equipment team provided were lighter than usual. After a lengthy investigation, many people were fined and suspended with the face of the crime and the brunt of the repercussions falling on NFL poster boy Tom Brady.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Go for
No.
it.
Honestly, all-time moment was just Bountygate. I don't know how I didn't take that. Just
I didn't think about it either.
yeah, I just thought about that with like the
'Cause we were talking
conspiracy.
about,
of
like,
Deflategate.
I thought that's what you were going to go into when you started talking about Sean Payton.
No,
Thinking
Bountygate is an
about
all-time sports moment
Those
for
locker
sure.
room moments from that is wild.
Kill the head.
Yeah, like
We
Murder
talked about-
Brett Favre.
One week in the news segment, we talked about one of the people that were involved with, and he like still kept his cell phone from Bountygate. Do y'all
Yeah.
remember that?
That's so
That was
much
like one of
worse
our
than
early
Deflategate.
episodes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the biggest. I think that might be the Astros is pretty bad. Their scandal, the World
Right,
Series
yeah,
scandal.
yeah.
But as far as football, that's probably Bountygate's the
Patriots are-
biggest scandal of
I
all
don't know. The
time.
Patriots have records of scandals.
Yeah. Spygate, Deflategate, Tuck Rule.
Spygate, I forgot about
Two.
that one too.
We could have just put the Patriots on on here.
They're
One of my
franchise.
personal favorites. Number 2, Mark Sanchez's butt fumble.
Oh my gosh!
November
yes.
22nd, 2012, Thanksgiving Day. He freaking fumbled off of the freaking butt of his offensive lineman.
That play ended his career, like
Actually.
genuinely.
Yeah.
But it was so funny to watch.
Yeah.
Dear God,
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Just ran into him.
I
don't know what to do.
the next one I have is Mouse at the Palace.
Yeah, I had that
November
on my
19th,
honorable
2004.
mentions.
Seth
Pretty
had a
much-
theme for his honorable mentions.
you won the list. You just didn't pick them.
Exactly. Number 9, MJ's I'm Back.
Yeah, MJ heavy list.
The next one I had was the Tuck Rule.
Yeah,
Yep, classic.
January 10th, January 19th, 2002.
that set a precedent too. That wasn't just a moment, but like it
That
established.
changed like rules.
Yeah.
like NFL rules.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith losing all grasp of reality in the 2018
Another good one.
2018 finals.
Yeah, game 1.
Boy, that man LeBron at like 36
If-
years old dropped 40 something points and lost.
If LeBron had won that finals, it would have gone down as the greatest NBA season.
Oh no,
in
he would
history,
be
I think.
undoubtedly,
Because
undeniably
2018 was
the best.
LeBron's arguably best year.
Yeah,
He would be zero questions the best NBA player to ever play.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well,
anytime-
he
If he
is,
took
but-
that team to a championship,
I still
Oh, it
think
took
he
him,
is.
and yeah,
That's
like,
raps.
I'm talking about how great his playoff run was before that, and his regular season.
Yeah.
he went crazy.
Yeah, and
that was
I-
an MVP.
Anytime you
Like-
drop 51 in game 1 and lose, there's not much
oh
more
yeah,
you
my
can
bad.
do.
I said 40 something. It was 51.
It was
points.
51
Yeah.
points. Yeah, I just wanted to
It's
mention
the
that.
RDC one. I know players don't just drop 51 points and still lose. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was wild. I honestly, that was the only time I felt bad for like an NBA superstar. I'm like, LeBron is getting smoked
Goes to
by
sleep.
Yeah.
No,
something
can't
not
do
fair.
that. Because every time I sit down, they go up 10 points.
Honestly.
And finally, Katie to the Warriors.
Ugh,
Oh, you just added that because that's
Dub Nation, baby.
Nice.
gross.
Thank you for bringing us those championships.
So-
Biggest
Katie.
scumbag move, and they won in spite of him, not
Hey,
because of him.
how many championships did they get?
2.
How many did the 76ers get during that time, or because of the process?
I like how he had to make the during that time
Right, not
little
like
caveat.
Speaking of big moves, I talked about LeBron going to Miami. Now, one mark against LeBron, and it's not actually a mark against him. Like, it's not his fault. But the destruction of Chris Bosh and Kevin Love's careers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
being a third option on LeBron's team.
Well,
Yeah.
I was also going to say Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh couldn't help that.
I
No,
feel
but
bad
he would
for
still
him.
would have had a much better, like, in terms of, like, stats-wise, career.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
but-
saying...
Well, I mean, Chris Bosh
But they
was
changed their
suffering
play style.
scrutiny too when he
Yeah.
was a Raptor. He was considered soft. Like he was what
And
we
the
consider DeAndre Ayton to be now.
And I feel like the blood clots and everything. I feel bad for Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
But
Yo,
can't
if
help
y'all
the
played
blood
my
clots.
team in 2K20, Bro, that
I thought of
Galaxy
one more
Opal,
moment.
Chris Bosh was wild, bro.
At the end of the year, they dropped 99s for everything. Everything's crazy.
Here's my
Was
second
shooting, like draining 3-pointers from the logo.
my
you like
second
to-
off-season moment. Shaq signing with the Lakers.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into mine because honestly, I had a list of about 10. Now we're down to 2 because everyone else just decided to go with 17 different honorable mentions.
I had to
I only
have
had
options.
5. I had
If you're not
5.
first, you're last.
Yeah, honestly. So, one thing that we hinted at but we didn't mention was Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors being the end of the KD Warriors. I think everyone other than the Warriors was like,
Dynasty enders.
that was one of the greatest. That was a great NBA moment because it stopped that.
It was a
team.
great
He
finals.
ended
Yeah.
2 dynasties.
Screw you,
No,
Kawhi
he ended
Leonard.
2 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
Don't say any
Yeah, after they.
Hey, the Sixers were on the way to being a dynasty, okay?
Yeah, maybe you say 3 then, if you want to. So that was a great one. Honestly, I feel so bad because I literally just had my other one and it's gone. Oh, I know, the Shaq and Kobe lob.
Yeah.
That that could give you chills. That was when that three-peat started.
I almost put the LeBron Dwayne Wade lob
I
picture.
just thought about
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
won't actually a lob. So that's what ruined
Yeah.
that. Everyone thinks it is.
No,
It looks
the
like
lob
one.
came from someone else.
Wasn't it a bounce pass from Dwayne or something?
Yeah, it was a bounce pass.
Also,
I thought it was a lob from
I'm
someone
just
else.
saying.
Sorry.
I don't know how many of you remember this. LeBron James murdering Jason Terry.
Jason Terry!
Holy
Oh,
cow!
What about
No.
Dwayne Wade murdering Anders and Varejao?
Lots of great poster dunks. Also, the Michael Jordan free throw line dunk.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan murdering Brandon Knight.
Oh my
Oh
god.
Hey, okay,
I don't know of all of them. I think
Jason
Jason
Terry's
Terry's
the
the worst.
I will
Around
say-
and was like,
my last honorable mention. This had no chance of getting drafted, but just because of the links, I thought it was hilarious. Thinking back to that Clippers team with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, who locked DeAndre Jordan in his own house to convince him not to go
Yeah.
to Dallas, as if like, oh, this is
that
all
what
we
happened?
need.
I never heard about
They
that.
literally went to his house. I think it was Blake.
He was on
During
the way.
moratorium, he had signed, he had promised to, the
Yeah.
the Mavericks.
It was right. I'm pretty sure the next day he was
I didn't know
flying
that.
to
I just-
Dallas. They go to his house, lock him in his own house.
Yeah.
Like, you need to stay. We're going to win. Of course, they never did anything, but I just thought it was
should've
so,
went to
I
Dallas.
never knew that's what happened.
It's-
I
There's
thought
a
he
mini
decided he wasn't
documentary
gonna do
about it.
Yeah,
You
it's
need to.
just
That's
so
wild.
crazy that they went through that length to still not make it out of the second round. Crazy.
Dear God.
Shout out to Blake Griffin for finally making a conference finals, by the way.
Yeah.
Steph Curry making Chris Paul hit the whip by breaking his ankles.
That one was a good one, to be fair. And,
And
that was
then,
Curry without KD.
This list
so.
has turned into a Steph Curry
Clippers-
highlight reel, and I don't like it.
It just Seth is Michael Jordan Curry.
Who
we didn't
was it?
say
It was
another great
the
call. Steph Curry OKC
Was it
primetime game.
Oh yeah,
was
of
it
course.
the
That's
Rockets?
The bang
The bang.
from like
Oh,
half
well.
court game winner in overtime.
Yeah.
that was great.
It was the Rockets going in through back tunnels that Chris Paul knew of the Staples Center to go confront Austin Rivers.
Oh yeah.
And they made a whole Game of Zones episode about it. It was so funny.
Lots of good moments. I'm happy though.
Now we
So
will name
man.
the rest of every moment in sports history.
We
All right,
love
are we gonna
sports.
vote
Or
for who we think is
should
the
we
best?
really
think
quickly?
we
Should we
should.
even?
I want to vote.
Should we go over
just
our
can't vote for
list real
ourselves.
quick or no? I mean, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
Vote on
thinking.
the Twitter poll.
Should we go?
Yeah, let's
we
go
can
over
leave
our
it up
list.
for Twitter.
Quickly, just to go through.
But
who
like,
had
I've
what.
already forgotten half of y'all's list. I know mine, but that's
All right,
it.
I'm ready for my list.
I am
for it.
ready, sir.
1, MJ96 final shot, Jazz. 2, Ray Allen corner 3 NBA Finals. 3, Odell Beckham catch. 4, Muhammad Ali I'm the greatest speech. 5, Linsanity.
All right.
I still can't believe you took that freaking OBJ catch from me.
It was a good one.
My picks: the 2016 NBA Finals 1. Number 2, I think I took the Cubs 2, right?
I think so.
The Cubs winning the World Series in 2016 2.
That was 3, I thought.
Number 3 was the Minneapolis
yeah,
Miracle.
yeah.
Number 4 was the 2013 Iron Bowl, and number 5 was the helmet catch.
Okay. Number 1, I had the shot, MJ and the Bulls versus the Cavs in the 1989 ECF. Number 2, I had the Malcolm Butler interception versus the Seahawks to get the Patriots the Super Bowl 49. Number 3, I had the flu game. Number 4, I had LeBron James passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in all-time points. And number 5, I had Wilt's 100-point game.
I really like LeBron's at 4. Anyway, number 1, I had Patriots 28-3 comeback over the Falcons. Number 2, the NC State Cardiac Pack 83 National Championship. Number 3, the FIFA 22 World Cup. Number 4, Kobe's last game, the 60 bomb, and 5, the undefeated 1972 Miami Dolphins.
See,
Okay, so through
Steven's got the best top 3.
I was about to say through 3 rounds, Steven
Yeah.
bodied us,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I
he fumbled
think
at the
Steven
end.
won
He
it.
came back.
Yeah.
Who do you think had the best list?
So
besides
what I was
yourself?
gonna say is that how we should do it? We do
Sure.
Without, yeah.
so I'm gonna
without-
give mine to Chris. Then I think his is my
That's fair.
favorite.
Let's
Personally.
go, Seth.
Mine's going to Steven.
Sweet, thank you.
I don't
Mine's
want
going
Steven to win.
I
mine's
hate
going
that
to
Dolphins
Seth's
pick,
honorary
but-
mentions.
That's valid.
I thought like
Honestly, to me, also Chris. That's what like to me like he has some good honorable mentions too.
Dude, I'm kind of mad I didn't take Bounty Gate, honestly.
I'm
No,
only mad at the
literally,
Dolphins.
I-
Kobe's 60's iconic.
I should have
Yeah.
just done my honorable mentions. Those are the ones I was telling Steven earlier. He was like, "Bro, if you would do that."
That's
I'm
what I
voting
was
for
saying.
you."
He will, but
And I
want-
didn't do it.
I wanted to respect him by not taking the butt fumble and stuff. I'm like, you should definitely do this.
I mean, like, I guess I'll vote for Steven. I don't want him to win, though.
Appreciate it. I will admit I did fumble the bag a little bit with the 72 Dolphins, but hey, at least that's the only undefeated team in NFL
I don't think
history.
you fumbled the bag. I just think you made a pick.
Yeah.
It's valid.
I think you made
It
a
was number
mediocre
20.
pick. But
Well, you know what? It technically should be the worst out of all
Love
of our
how,
picks.
like,
Yeah.
the last
Romanowski
undefeated
ending
team is
people's
mediocre.
careers.
Like, the only time it's ever done.
okay,
it.
look. Any football that happened whenever the Cowboys had their era, like pre-90s, that's not real. None of that counted.
I'm taking
Dan
Bill
Marino doesn't count?
Romanowski's
No, he
entire
doesn't.
The
career.
immaculate reception.
Okay, I'm going to go on a little rant right here for a second. Dan Marino's the most overrated quarterback I've
Jesus
ever...
Christ.
Dude, he didn't do anything. He didn't win anything. Dan Marino wasn't on that 76 team. He has
You're
no
right.
rings.
I don't know. I was just
I don't
saying.
know why I said that earlier because I remembered he didn't have a championship.
No,
Yeah.
I was just saying. Because I knew he was before the Cowboys. I was just like, I was just asking.
Dan Marino, okay, if you take away Peyton Manning's rings that he won by his defenses, that is the exact same career path Dan Marino had, but worse. Dan Marino was Archie Manning, but on a team that had a good defense. Again, football that happened in the 70s doesn't count. It's not real. Football that happened in the 80s does not count. It's not real. Dan Marino's so overrated.
In the
He was
80s too?
He was the best of his time, but his time was nothing. He didn't win anything. He was a great regular season. He had the same career path of Mark Sanchez.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
Not Mark.
Okay, look, I'm just sick of people when they're having
I am-
the top 5 quarterback discussion putting Dan Marino on that
wouldn't
list.
put him top-
What did he do?
No, he doesn't belong in top
I don't think he's
five.
top
but
five.
I would.
I
give him
wish-
that much-
Top 2.
I wish the
I
camera
wouldn't
was
give him that
rolling.
much disrespect.
Wish-
Jesus Christ,
Mark
that
Sanchez.
sounded like,
Personal
like
vendetta.
very.
Dude, I'm just so sick of people overrating Dan Marino. He's not that good. Dan Marino, if you're listening, I could have beat you in your prime. I'm putting that out there now.
Lord Almighty.
And that's
I
our
wish the camera was rolling
episode
so
for
Seth could put him
today.
on blast.
This will also be on our Twitter if you would like to vote. If you don't,
Chris had beat Dan Marino in his prime.
Okay, we're gonna have 2 polls this week. One is about Chris. Please make sure you vote. But the
I
other one's
just-
about our drafts. Who do you think had the best
How
draft?
are you, a singular person, going to beat another singular person in the game of football?
If I could have his
Dan
team,
Marino.
They're just doing the Oklahoma drill.
Dan Marino literally just chucked the ball 15
Bored.
yards
Hey,
downfield every
How many
time.
NFL seasons did you play?
It doesn't matter. It was the 80s. I could have played in the 80s. You could have played in the 80s. You would have been the best fullback in the league.
Very, very interesting.
They said, who's
take.
juice check? I just remember Seth Green from the 80s.
Kyle Juszczyk would have been a stud in the.
Oh,
if you
Kyle
put
Juszczyk's a stud now.
No, that's
I love
different
Kyle
to say
Juszczyk.
that any modern NFL player, would be a stud back then. But
who's
just
the worst
because-
NFL player that you can think of offhand?
Baker Mayfield. No, I'm just kidding.
Baker Mayfield would have been a Hall of Famer if he played in the 70s.
Dear God, that is.
It's true.
Very interesting. We'll let you
I'm
have
still
your.
thinking on the worst NFL player.
Yeah, I know. I just threw
Well,
Baker
The first one that
Mayfield
came
under
to
there.
me was Delvin Bro. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Delvin Bro. I actually really like you,
Keith
but you're not
Taylor.
that good.
Yeah. The fact that you can't know their names.
Yeah,
Keith Taylor.
Kelvin Benjamin would have been a Hall of Famer if he played in the 70s.
honestly, Kelvin Benjamin could have had so much better of a career if he just would have taken care of himself.
Look, he doesn't have anything
Oh,
on
Johnny
running back
Manziel.
for the
Oh my
Packers.
gosh.
Johnny Manziel would have been a Hall of Famer if he played in the
Stop.
70s.
I-
You know why? You know why? Because they didn't have the clubs like open like that in the 70s.
Oh, fair.
I think 70s is known as a drugs era.
Well, I mean, like in the 70s, he could have been like smoking a cigarette and drinking a 40 on the sideline, and no one would have blinked twice about it. You know what I mean?
I honestly no. That was 30 years before I was born. I really don't, but I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I think Tim Couch is probably the correct. Oh no,
I'll get my
Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell could not have been a Hall of Famer. In the
yeah.
70s.
Okay,
You're right.
he's the exception.
You're completely right.
He's the exception to that rule.
Or Eddie Lacy.
Eddie Lacy had good years.
Yo, Eddie
before he
Lacy
got
was
fat.
powered
It went downhill so quick.
Eddie Lacy would really fit in on this
No, he started
podcast.
out good. He started out good.
Dude.
Look, Eddie, I love you.
What if you had Eddie Lacy and Kelvin Benjamin on the same team? You just start making
The big boys
anyway
on your
off topic.
defensive line: Dontari Poe,
Yeah,
Vita Vea.
honestly, that'd be a scary team.
How many rushing
They might
yards could
win.
Lamar Jackson have gotten in a single season in the 70s?
Your quarterback is
Unfathomable.
Jamarcus Russell.
He wouldn't have gotten any because they would have not been. They would have benched him. Warren Moon didn't bridge that gap until the 80s. I'm serious. The 70s and 80s NFL was not a time to be celebrating teams.
Zero. He would
The
have
Steelers have 2 rings as far as I'm concerned. That's it.
Well, we'll leave all that to other people's interpretation. I'm not saying I disagree because
I
I think
just-
Drew Brees is the second best quarterback of all time, right?
Objectively, he is. Like, by the metrics.
I don't wanna go-
By the metrics.
how long do you think till Patrick
How long?
Mahomes
We're
passes him?
we're at the hour and 11-minute mark. We can go another 40. So
No,
by
we
the
can't.
metrics, he is second all time in passing yards,
long do
passing
you-
touchdowns, completion percentage, yards per season, yards per throw. He is objectively at the quarterbacking position the second best to ever play the game.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes takes his spot?
Eventually, yes.
Okay. I was just,
Eventually.
Do you
Yeah.
think that Patrick Mahomes has what it takes to pass Tom Brady?
Eventually, absolutely.
yeah, I don't
You
disagree.
think he'll get that many championships?
That's that.
I think
100%.
he's already better than him skill-wise. I don't know about championships.
100%.
I can't. Well, I
It's
agree.
kind of getting into a LeBron versus Jordan debate.
That's what I'm saying.
Except LeBron came first in this situation.
Wait, what?
Because Tom Brady's the LeBron here as far as longevity and everything.
Oh,
Oh, I see that comparison. I was thinking
Yeah.
of him
Who
as
knows
Jordan
what
for the
Patrick
winner.
Mahomes' longevity is gonna be. The medical science is going to come out. He's going to be playing at 65.
I mean,
He's
when-
going to be 60 slinging it to
I
a
was gonna say
70-year-old
when you
Kelsey.
sign 10-year contracts, he's
Yeah,
he's,
I mean,
he's got the case for it.
sorry to go on that little rant there, guys. I feel better now.
No, I'm glad you did.
It was just
honestly,
Dan Marino.
honestly, you
Dan
look
Marino
better. Like
disrespect.
I think he genuinely
He was
like.
built.
Ever
He was
since
like
Minneapolis Miracle,
that
I was
hate.
worried, but
That
he's
hate
back.
inside of Chris has just been boiling up.
It's
and it
because
boiled over.
I've legitimately had hours-long arguments about Dan Marino's placement in the all-time quarterback rankings, and the fact that he's even considered in the top 10 is ridiculous.
My dad's gonna
Okay.
hate this episode.
You said top 10. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Well, you know,
but-
I can name 10 off rip. I can name 10 quarterbacks better
Okay,
than
go
Dan
ahead,
Marino.
just real quick. Let's
All right,
do this.
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. Let's go. Are you serious?
No,
he
keep-
has 2
I
rings.
guess that's fair.
Ben
rings are not a
Roethlisberger.
measure of a NFL team quarterback.
They're not a measure of an
Based on your
individual.
words.
Based on my words, rings are not a measure of a quarterback's ability to quarterback. Correct, but it is a
Rings are for
measure.
Eli.
Eli's still an all-time player. He's still a Hall of Fame
I think
quarterback.
I give Eli over Dan Marino, to be honest.
Okay, go ahead.
But I have to do
Continue
my
your
own
list.
list.
Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger. We're gonna get shoot, what's his name? Oh, it's
Phillip
evading
Rivers?
me. Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman's on that
What
list.
about Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers, arguably better than Dan Marino.
Andrew Luck.
Arguably
I
better
don't know
than
if I
Dan
give that to
Marino.
Andrew Luck, just because he didn't play long. Anyway,
Arguably.
those are all debates.
Okay,
No,
genuinely,
I just baited him. I was like, let me see what he thinks about
genuinely,
this.
I know longevity and everything has a hand in this.
Right.
Michael Vick was a better quarterback than Dan Marino.
Next week we're gonna have a segment. called
RG3.
Are they better than Dan? And we're just gonna name quarterbacks.
RG3 in college was better than Dan
all right,
Marino.
so we have to stop spoiling our next week's segment about. But fair enough. All right, so 2 polls coming up. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you can let us know who had the best draft and 101 in an Oklahoma drill. Who's winning, Dan Marino
Or Chris.
or Chris?
In an Oklahoma
Chris
drill,
Long, yeah.
absolutely, I'm murdering Dan Marino. Any other drill? Okay, he might have me.
Well, I just figured,
Might he?
isn't that the best 1v1 football drill that's the best one I could think of.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. In
Or
terms
unless y'all
of-
are just running routes.
I'm about to go home and put Chris in Madden.
Chris has the sharp cut.
Everyone's about to go home and look up Dan Marino highlights just to find out there aren't any. So
Anyway,
There's so much Dan Marino disrespect coming from Chris.
Dan Marino's the new George Niangs.
but
You
you
don't
look,
like?
No, I'm just saying in terms of how much
he's been set.
talked
Oh yeah.
about.
Oh,
Anyway, we appreciate you listening to the podcast.
I'm sorry, Dan
Except
Marino.
you, Dan Marino.
No,
I'm sorry, Dan Marino.
Listen, we will kick Chris out for a week to have you on the podcast. Okay, it can happen.
Just
You're
a
more
week.
relevant.
We will kick.
Wow.
Chris out. Sorry,
I mean,
look.
who's pulling better numbers, Chris Long?
At this stage in our careers, me.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Nobody is looking up Dan Marino
I'm
right
signing
now. I
out.
promise.
I'm signing it out.
Thank you so much for watching this week.
Nate's currently Googling Dan Marino. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to Google myself. How about that?
Thank you so much for watching this week. Dear God, you're giving me the hiccups. Thank you so much for listening this week. Do y'all have anything else to say?
Yeah, Dan Marino.
no.
You
Don't
can
we don't.
Never mind. Chris, no
give
more-
me the
no,
platform.
No, no.
Take his
Steve Largent is a better quarterback than Dan Marino.
I tried to unplug it. Dang it. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Peace.